Frutiger Aero is a broad design style and aesthetic that was prevalent in advertising, media, stock imagery, and technology from roughly 2004 to 2013, following the end of the Y2K futurism era. Frutiger Aero is like a child of Y2K, I would say. They have their differences, but in a way, they're the same kinda. There are some common like motifs within Frutiger Aero that aren't prevalent within Y2K itself, but we'll get into that. Adrian Frutiger is who it was named after. He created this typeface called Frutiger, and it was used in like, Microsoft's Windows Aero, Microsoft 2006 Visa software or Vista software. So I think a lot of Microsoft stuff that typeface was kind of prevalent in. Sophia Lee is the person that actually kind of coined the term Frutiger Aero. She described it as humanist skeuomorphic design, which skeuomorphic is kind of like it's when you take like flat design and you try and make it look a little more realistic. We'll get into that a little bit when it comes to like the different motifs and elements that you commonly see within Frutiger Aero. Here's some common themes, common styles, that you see across Frutiger Aero. How many of y'all know about these types of graphics from like the old iPhones and stuff? And the old iPhone, it's like this, and then there were like some other graphics. There was like the Instagram logo, like is a good point of reference for something like this also. Well, not the new Instagram logo, but y'all know what I'm talking about. Glossy materials, glass, grass, kind of northern lights. There's a fancier term that when I was doing my research that they were using to kind of describe this is called aurora something, but I'm just gonna call it northern lights. You know what I'm saying? Like, but glass, bokeh effects. You see a lot of fish, a lot of water, a lot of bubbles, and then you've got like tertiary color palettes, which is what you get when you combine, I believe, primary colors and your secondary colors. You get a tertiary color palette. Let's get into some designs inspired by Frutiger Aero. So, obviously we've got old kind of Safari symbol here. We've got like the old kind of iTunes graphic here. How many of y'all know about these graphics? Like what stands out to you guys about these graphics here? Are you guys seeing any of the motifs kind of mentioned earlier? I know, we're seeing like, what is this? Is this the MSN like messenger icon? They make that kind of look glossy. It looks kind of bubbly as well. This Microsoft silver light kind of reminds me of like the Northern Lights a little bit. And here's some more designs kind of inspired by Frutiger Aero. These are more kind of like UX, UI design kind of, So this is from like Xbox. So this was an old like Xbox 360 user interface. I believe these are from like PlayStation 3 or something like that. I don't know where this is from. I guess this is Windows Media Player here too. What y'all think of these? How are y'all feeling about these? Anything in particular kind of stand out to y'all? Kind of like, kind of pique your interest a little bit as far as kind of like the graphics or, how you could incorporate something like this into your own kind of work. Yeah, John 3K. Yeah, this era of UX UI design, like top tier, bro. Like you can't beat this. This graphic here is definitely like refreshing, which I don't know if it's like it kind of like fits into the topic, but you see a lot of graphics kind of similar to these two in the bottom left corner here. They still use them on like soap brands still kind of use stuff like this. We'll get into that, things that are packaging designs that are and product designs that are inspired by Frutiger Aero. Crazy VIP says very bold and custom. They all have their own style. ZLP says it's full of life. Cole says the Windows wallpaper will go down as a classic image. Nah, that's facts. But we'll move on to the next slide, which I believe is more about products. Okay, products inspired by Frutiger Aero. So we've got the iPod Classic. I don't really know what this is. I remember this though. This one right here. Obviously, we've got the Nintendo DS, Nintendo 3DS, then the PlayStation 3. We got the Razer. Any of y'all remember these products? Did y'all use any of these? I know I had the iPod Classic for a while. I feel like I'm kind of showing my age here. Nah, I rocked with the iPod Classic though. Here's some more products here. We got the Tamagotchi, got the Wii U, Xbox 360, different products that still use these aesthetics. Would be kind of the finished Powerball and then the soft soap. It's fresh. Yeah. That's a common trait. That's what I get from Frutiger Aero itself is, there's a lot of grass, lots of water, lots of bubbles, very refreshing. In my research, they would say that Frutiger Aero is kind of the futuristic that we were promised, which I feel like is a whole nother rabbit hole, and I'm not going to get into that. But yeah, these are some good products. Y'all have any of these phones right here? I vaguely remember the BlackBerry right here. Or oh, y'all can't see it because I'm covering it up. Let me see if I can move my camera here. Yeah, like the little BlackBerry right here. I vaguely remember that. I don't think I had this though. I think my pops may have had this. All right, moving on. I think next up we got like some videos that are kind of inspired by Frutiger Aero. So yeah, let's jump into that.
Control flows.
How y'all feel about that? I think a lot of what is it again? Kind of Northern Lights. I feel like they kind of used that a little bit, or not even a little bit. It was the whole video pretty much with these kind of light streaks. I feel like Apple definitely ran with the whole kind of Frutiger Aero kind of aesthetic as far as like some of their early products. John 3K says this is like the Frutiger Aero version of the Frutiger Metro Silhouette iPod commercial they had. Crazy VIP says, yeah, I remember this commercial. I begged my parents for one. Classic, definitely a classic. All right, let's get into this one. This is a Wii U Nintendo ad.
With the all-new Wii U, this is how you'll play next. On 2 screens, 1 player, against 4, growing from here to there. Nintendo Land. Only available on the all-new Wii U. Game rated everyone 10 and up.
What y'all think of that? What elements or parts of that video kind of stood out as, you know, Frutiger Aero? This is what made me want a Wii U as a kid, not gonna lie. The video is kind of dope, I ain't gonna lie. Bright, fun colors made it inviting. Yeah, lots of bright colors. I feel like they kind of had a bunch of colors, but you know, they weren't necessarily just kind of limited to tertiary colors. I feel like they had primary, secondary colors as well. Can't believe companies moved away from this style. Everything is so gray and bland nowadays. I wouldn't say everything. You got to find the right companies, you know what I'm saying? But I do agree with you for the most part, you know, like that whole kind of trend of everyone's logos just going minimal. Like people are removing like all of the brand history from their logos and just going with like Helvetica. You know what I'm saying? I feel like stuff like this was way more fun. Color stood out the most, yeah. And I think I've got one more video for y'all. Before I play this, I feel like y'all already know what this is, done it. How many of y'all seen this video already? And can you recall like seeing this video or seeing this ad for the first time? It said every company went minimalist, but this is just classic. Yeah, I agree with you. All right, bet. I'm gonna get into this one. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was very Frutiger Metro for sure. When I was kind of looking into Frutiger Aero, there's so many kind of subgenres. And I found like a chart of just like everything that's kind of a child element of Frutiger Aero, and it's just too much. I was like, I don't even want to get into that. That's opening a whole nother can of worms. These types of practices helped separate themselves from each other. You're talking about Apple. Color pop for sure. Yeah. Lots of just like color blocking, I would say. Lots of primary, secondary, tertiary colors. But this one is definitely more in line with Frutiger Metro, which is kind of a child of a Frutiger Aero.